one of the girls was having hard time, and I felt like the medicine wanted me to send her love, and I was facing her, and I was just telling her like, you are love, you are love, you are love. And then I was hearing her like, she wasn't hearing me, but like she was saying gracias, gracias, gracias. And I just kept telling her like, you are love, you are enough, you are wanted, you are love, you are love, you are love.
That's awesome.
And it felt so good, like just it felt like the medicine want me to help others.
Welcome everybody back to the show. Today's podcast is very special. We don't really need an introduction to our guests. It's the Bliss Seekers. It's 3 out of 4 of us here. Des is back there manning the cameras. Thank you so much, Des. But today is very exciting, very special, because 2 out of the 4, 50% of the Bliss Seekers had a unique experience this weekend. They did Ayahuasca. If you guys don't know what Ayahuasca is out there, it's a plant medicine. I'm not going to tell you more about it. Just Google it. You'll find tons of stuff on YouTube. But yeah, let's get right into it. So welcome.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Jho, and I do photography, and here I am with the Bliss Seekers.
Yep.
Hey guys, so my name is Hatem, and I'm doing the videography for Bliss Seekers.
Yep. And you guys have already seen them in previous podcasts, or you will have by this one. But anyways, let's get right into it. So you guys spent a very awesome and life-changing weekend this past weekend. I guess we could start with Jho, because this was your first time.
Right.
So for those of you guys who don't know, I've done this before, maybe a couple months ago. Hatem's done it several times, but this is his second experience. But Jho, this was your first experience.
Yeah.
So since you being the rookie here, the first time experience, I guess tell us a little bit about it, about the whole experience, the drive up, when you guys got there, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So before you partake in the ceremony, you're supposed to fast 24 hours. I actually water fasted Thursday night until Saturday afternoon.
Wow.
So that's like almost 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I figured since you fasted 36 hours,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like
How was that experience though? Because I know that you do like a lot of juice cleanses and stuff, but I don't know if you've ever done like a fast for that long.
No.
Tell us a little bit about that, being the first time over 24-hour fast.
Yeah, this is my first time, and I've been mentally ready, emotionally ready, and physically ready for the ayahuasca ceremony. And doing this water fast, it was easy because I had a purpose, like a bigger purpose of why I was doing it. And I was getting headaches.
Yeah.
But I think so I started Thursday night, and then we left the next morning on Friday. We were just on the road. I just kept drinking water, stopping by gas stations to pee, drinking water. I would get headaches here and there, but then when we got to the area and having to set up our own tent, I forget about the hunger.
Yeah.
I was more excited about the ceremony and what the weekend was going to be about. So fasting for me was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you, because I think it's harder if you are not busy, but if you're busy or you're excited or you're looking forward to something, you just kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's sacred.
What about you, Hatem? How long did you fast for?
So I ate my last meal like 7 a.m. the day before the ceremony.
So Thursday or Friday? Oh, Friday.
Friday.
Okay.
So it was like 24 hours.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, it's not just like about fasting about food. Like 1 week before the ceremony, like you should not smoke, do drugs, no sex, no eating meat, and like you have to be like in a good diet for a whole week. So you should have like the energy, to work with the medicine.
And also too, what I noticed just from my experience is that when you fast or you properly eat, first of all, the medicine affects you like how it should. Yeah. And then second of all, when you purge, there's not much that comes out because you're empty, right?
Yeah.
But so you did 24 hour and you did almost about 36 hours?
Yeah, almost 48 hours.
Almost 48 hours.
Yeah.
So I felt very clean and like my stomach was very flat, like it felt very good.
Yeah.
What about you? What was your experience for fasting for almost 48 hours?
Yeah, I felt light,
Yeah.
like empty,
Yeah.
light, empty, and clear. I was just ready. I knew it was a sacred experience, and putting my body into that fasted state for as long as I could was it was an honor. You know, I was grateful for doing that.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, I don't know if you guys can share this, is like when the ceremony was over for me, I wasn't really hungry. Like I didn't really want to eat. And they say after a fast for that long, you shouldn't really introduce food to your body like so quickly, right? I think I just had some fruit, and then I got a little bit hungry later. How were you guys? How did you guys feel after that?
So we start like with like after the ceremony they give us watermelon.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
we was like still like coming back from the ceremony.
Yeah.
And like just sitting down in the ground and tasting the watermelon after the fast and after the medicine. It felt like this is my first time eating watermelon.
Really?
Yeah, like it's so like delicious. Like you feel like, and you have like so much respect to the food, like so much appreciation. Like I was so grateful for the food, and that's something like we usually like watch TV and eat. Like we don't care about the food, and this time I was like just looking at the food and just grateful to have it in my hand.
Yeah.
And first bite, first taste for the food was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I prayed and I was grateful for it, and it felt like I've never tasted watermelon before in my life. It literally like, it's so hard to explain. Like, it was like the most amazing experience. I was just eating watermelon.
Yeah.
I remember when I got up and I saw watermelon, people were eating watermelon. I was like, tengo hambre, hambre. That means I'm hungry in Spanish.
Oh, you learned Spanish too.
Yeah, they're laughing at me because most of the people there like are Hispanic.
So Joe like came back late, you know. Like everyone was eating and like going around, and Joe like still in the experience. So she was late. You know?
I was still high.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got up. I was like, oh my god, I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty, and I saw watermelon. And I just went for it, and the first bite, it was just so juicy, and I feel everything. I felt everything and tasted everything. It was an amazing experience, and I want to have that experience every time I eat. And it's hard. It's hard though. It was really different. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because we're all connected, and I guess ayahuasca is a plant medicine, right? And it's not a drug because you don't get addicted to it. It's actually natural. It's a plant. But the cool thing is that you're out in nature, and I believe, and you guys can kind of talk about this if you have the same feeling, that it brings you back to your connection with nature, right? Like, you know, a watermelon, if you think about it, it's like a little seed. You put it in the ground, and then this giant watermelon comes out, and then it feeds and nourishes our body, right?
Yeah.
And there's lots of minerals. It's mainly water, but it's lots of minerals, right? So I believe, and you guys can talk about this, did you feel like the ceremony, the medicine kind of reconnected you with nature?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
100,000%.
especially like Joe, like she was so connected to the ground.
Yeah.
She was like, it feels like she want to merge with the ground. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so I was like, I didn't start my experience until late, so I was awake. I was watching everyone, and Joe was connecting with Mother Earth, talking with Mother Earth, and she was like all the way merging with Mother Earth on the ground.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They also say though, if you go with somebody, that you shouldn't be in the general area as them, because it'll affect your experience, because then you're like focused on them versus focused on yourself. Did you find yourself getting a little distracted, or right when the medicine hit you, you were like...
I was like distracted. Yeah, I was looking at Joe like, it's normal, you know, 'cause like it's your friend, like you care about her.
Yeah.
So she was far away from me, but somehow she was like in my
right in front of
side.
you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about this, like, let's get back like to the start. And
Okay.
We're gonna talk about this.
Yeah, so let's get to it, because I know we were talking a little bit about like the ending experience, so let's get right back to the beginning, because let's get right from the get-go, from when you guys got in your cars, in the car basically, and headed up. And I know you guys recorded some stuff, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I have my GoPro with me, and we decided like just like while we are driving, we're gonna just record ourselves and talk about why we're doing this, like what's our intention about this, and like share our thoughts. And for me, like it's my second time doing the ayahuasca, but it's my fourth trip with ayahuasca. So I have like 3 trips in one day almost.
That's crazy.
And I have this one. And
tell everybody a little bit about your first experience, just briefly, because I know that was an intense experience.
Yeah, so my first one was in Florida. I was in February.
Of this year?
Yeah, this year.
Oh, wow.
Like 6 months ago, 7 months ago. And that was my first time with ayahuasca. So first ceremony, it just like felt my spirit was asleep the whole time, the whole life, and it just came back to life. Like I was asleep and then I just awakened.
Wow.
And my spirit was so happy in other dimension. And in that time I couldn't remember like my name, my family, my sex. I couldn't remember anything. I was just spirit.
So you were a spiritual being.
I was. So this is like what. So before ayahuasca, like I hear everyone saying, "Oh, like we are spiritual beings having a human experience."
Yeah. You didn't get it, right?
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
But like when I did the ayahuasca, I get it. Yes. Like I was like 100% spirit.
Wow. So maybe Mama Ayahuasca was like, Hatem, I'm gonna teach you that we are spiritual beings.
Exactly. This is like how like it just awakened me up, like, and it felt like this is the first time. Like it felt like I was asleep, like, and then just someone wake me up. And
that's pretty crazy that you said asleep, because you guys remember the movie Avatar?
I know it, but I never seen it.
Yeah, so
I saw part of it.
Yeah, so the premise is like the humans get into this, they sleep in this chamber, and then they could go inside of the avatar body. And the avatars are those big, you know, like alien-like creatures. But in order to have an experience in the avatar world, you had to go to sleep in this machine, and it puts you into their body. So I don't know if Avatar, the movie, is kind of trying to touch on something like that we are spiritual beings, basically having a human experience, because these were human beings having an avatar experience, right? Yeah. And that's really what we are. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and you saw that like 100% firsthand.
And you know, like the crazy thing is, like, or something interesting, like all religion touch on that. Like all religion says, oh, like we came from heaven, we came to earth. And like we are a spirit, and after you die your spirit go to heaven or hell. So like in all religions, like we know this like long time ago. Like everyone, like almost everyone on earth right now believes this, but they don't get it.
You know, I think what gets in the way is people's ego.
Yeah.
The ego, or the disconnection. We're so disconnected from who we were or nature as far as our society nowadays. And that's prevalent in the greed and the wars and the killing of our forests and just the destruction of Earth. Well, basically not the destruction of Earth, because I had a friend who really made me realize that we're not destroying Earth, just the climate is changing. So Earth is still going to be here, but it's not going to be inhabitable to us as humans, right?
Yeah.
So so that was your first experience.
Yeah, and then that was my first one. Then the second one and the third one, like, was like kind of scary, like it shocked me. And mainly like I went to the dark side and I saw like Satan, and he was like telling me like I saw like all kind of like the big companies logos.
Oh wow.
I saw like
corporate America
in the world, the whole world.
Wow.
And I saw like the money. And I saw like kind of a symbol, like a code, like all the money has a code. And then I saw like the pyramid, and I saw the eye on the pyramid. And
the one that's on the dollar too, right?
Yes.
Wow.
And so all this kind of codes and stuff, and I was so scared. And then like Satan was like telling me like, you want a money, you want a fame, and you just like follow me or worship me.
Wow.
and I was like so scared, and everything went so fast, and I was just saying like, God is love, God is love,
Yeah.
God is love, God is love, the whole time. And so that was like my main experience with ayahuasca, and the second and third time. So first time was beautiful, second, third time was really scary.
Right.
And after that, like I came back home, I couldn't sleep for a week.
Wow.
Like I keep seeing like these entities, seeing like scary, faces when I go to sleep
Wow.
for the whole week.
That's crazy.
And
then it went away?
then it went away, yeah. And after like a few months, like I understood like there is darkness, like you have to believe there is darkness, like. And I was like still like not sure if there is darkness. It's just like my ego like playing games. And so that's like one of the reasons like I decided to do ayahuasca again, because I want to face my fears. Like
Right.
I don't want to be just running away from my fears.
Yeah, and I want to go back to the darkness and the light because, we're all just made of a bunch of cells, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like this is looks like our hand or whatever is solid, but if you look at your hand under a microscope, it's a bunch of tiny moving cells, basically.
Atoms.
And, atoms.
Yeah.
And every atom has a proton and a neutron, which is positive
A negative.
and negative, right? Or you could say God and evil, or you could say light side and dark side.
Yes.
And the thing that controls the vibration to our cells is our brains.
Yes.
So when you start to think negative, that's why they say that we can actually make ourselves literally sick by the way you think, because you're sending these electric or whatever signals from your brain into your cells. And you know how lots of people are always like, oh, I'm always sick, and then they're always sick.
They get sick.
Yeah, because you're telling your cells, you're basically triggering the negative part of your atom to be more strong than the positive part. And that's why it's very powerful the way we think, what we put into our minds, who we surround ourselves with. But so you had a little taste with the dark side after seeing the good side.
Yes.
And that kind of went away after a while.
Yes, but like I was still like scared to try ayahuasca again. Like I was like, I'm done with this. Like I don't want to like experience this again.
So what made you get brave enough to do it again?
Yeah, because I invited him before. He said he wasn't ready, and next thing you know, he's coming with me. Like, yay.
Yeah, so I just like felt I have to face my fears. Like this is the thing. Like I'm not gonna run away from my fears.
Right. That's pretty brave, actually. So now let's talk about this experience now. So how was this one for you?
Yeah, so this experience like was different. So when I went there, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna do it, it's fine. And when like we start with the ceremony, I was like scared.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't like ready. And I took my first, like they came with like a tray with little cups with a drink, and they say like which one like calling for you, and each one like have different color and like have different
like
designs, handmade.
So all the cups were different.
Yes.
Wow, I got paper cups. But there was 150 people at our ceremony. Yeah.
No, the one we got was like kind of custom. It's not paper. It's like not a glass.
It's like,
what is
it's not glass. I think it's glass.
Is this ceramic?
Ceramic.
Yeah, ceramic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Ceramic cups, and so I choose one cup. And
What did your cup look like?
Was white and like has like green drawing on it.
Okay. White and green like your shirt?
It's exactly like my shirt. Yeah.
Did you do that on purpose or you didn't realize
No.
that? That's crazy.
And
So the ayahuasca's still working.
yeah, I want to go back to Jho experience, why she want to do it, and then we're gonna talk about the ceremony.
So
we was like, because I was watching her, like we was like connecting
So
together.
we'll get back to you, but let's go to Jho. So Jho, I mean, this is your first time. Tell us about the experience.
Yeah, I mean, Friday when we were leaving, we were in the car, and I was just thinking about what is my intention. I gotta have a set intention before I.
Can you tell the listeners about intention, just real quick?
Intention? I mean, before you do anything, really, you gotta set your intention. When you meditate, also, what's your intention when doing this podcast? I have my own intention. So having that clear intention, it helps you to focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, and don't they say that it's very important to have an intention when you do the ayahuasca, because ayahuasca is not there to do something for you. Mm-hmm. It's there to help you solve or complete your intention. Right?
Yeah, to show
if
you
that
something.
Even makes sense.
Yeah.
Grammatically.
So on Friday I was in the car thinking like, what's my intention this time? Like, what am I gonna? I start thinking like, okay, like my intention is to heal myself. Thinking of myself.
Yeah.
To heal myself, and then or to let go, right? And then I think the next morning or maybe that night, it finally came to me. My intention is to connect with nature.
Okay.
And feel free.
Wow.
Right?
And that's what Hatem said, exactly what you were doing.
Yeah. I've been wanting to connect with nature on a deeper level, because nature heals.
Right.
So yeah, and in the morning, when it's funny because when he was right next to me and had the tray, I was looking at his cup. Mm-hmm. I almost grabbed his cup.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I ended up getting the other cup, right? And then, so I set my intention before doing it, right? To free myself, feel
mm-hmm.
free.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took it. I thought it was gonna be disgusting, and I was like, this actually tastes pretty good. Mm-hmm. Because I had more disgusting medicine before.
Yeah.
It was like a Chinese medicine that I've taken before. That was actually more disgusting.
Yeah, I've had
and
some
this one, I didn't even need a chaser, but I had some water after.
There you go. And they make sure you drink all of it, right?
Yeah. You can add a little bit of water to make sure you drink all of it.
I remember when I did it, just like you, Hatem, I was all gung ho, and then when we were walking up, I was like, oh shoot. Can I back out now? I'm not sure about this, but then finally I did it.
Yeah.
So you picked your cup. What did your cup look like?
It was brown and green.
Okay.
I think. I remember just standing there. We're all in a circle, and it's like, all right, this is it. It's going down. I'm we're here. I was really calm on the outside, but inside I was really excited and a little anxious.
That's
and
good.
right when I took it, I'm like, all right, I'm on my way. I'm on my way already.
So I have a question for both of you guys. How long did it take for the medicine to kick in?
Probably 30 minutes
30
for
minutes?
me.
For you?
Yeah.
Hatem? 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Also, no wonder you were looking around watching everybody. Wow, okay.
So the reason it took long because we was fasting for 24 hours. I didn't drink water that time, so I want to throw up anyway, without the medicine.
Yeah, because you just weren't feeling good.
Yeah, when I tested, I drank a little bit. I couldn't hold it, so I spit it.
Oh, okay. So you didn't want to waste it.
My body couldn't drink it.
Okay.
I just my body was rejecting the medicine.
Okay.
I think he spat on me too.
A little bit, yeah.
Right? I was like, whoa, Hatem, you okay?
So.
He's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And then I had some water, tried to drink it, and I couldn't. Then the shaman, the helper, they came around me and they started cleansing me and start singing to me.
Yeah.
And they just tell me just breathe, relax. And then I just took the shot.
Yeah.
And we took the shots, we sit down for meditation, and within less than 30 seconds, I burst it out.
Oh, okay.
And I was sitting there, I said, okay, I'm not gonna have the experience this time.
Right.
And we start the meditation. And in the meditation, they took us to above the cloud, and there where we're gonna stay. And we do then when the medicine start kicking, you do your work above the cloud.
What do you mean about the cloud?
So in your meditation, you just imagine your soul leaving your body.
Okay.
And start going up, and then you start looking at everyone in the circle in the ceremony, and then you go above, you start seeing the mountains, the roads, the rivers, and then you keep going up until you are above the sky.
Okay.
Just you imagine yourself like this, and once the medicine start working, you're gonna start doing your work above the cloud.
Okay.
And they say some of you gonna do that, some of you will not be able to reach the cloud, so it's fine. Just do your medicine on your own. Do it
And some people got stuck in the iCloud.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I never left the ground.
Some never left the ground.
I
but
never
this
left the
is-
ground.
You were
literally.
you were connecting with nature,
Yeah, I
right?
never
Yeah.
left the ground literally.
Wow.
So I was like, then like everyone went to his like area, like where
Mhm.
like you just lay down and wait for the medicine to start kicking in, and I didn't feel anything because I already purged everything,
Yeah.
and I was just like sitting down looking at everyone.
So did you take another shot?
No, they call. I wait. Like after like an hour or so, they call if you don't feel it, take your second shot.
Okay.
And I was still scared. I didn't take my second shot.
Okay.
And that time I was just watching everyone.
That must have been interesting.
Yeah.
Because I always tell people, like, or I don't tell people, but I would think, because like there was one person that was still on the medicine when everyone was out of the medicine, and this person was like screaming and making crazy noises, and like we understand it now because we went through the ceremony, but I can think like if someone's sober and watching this, they might kind of like freak out a little bit, you
Yes.
know,
Yes.
because you're watching people go through it. You know?
Yes,
But
I was-
if you're in it, then you don't even care because
Yeah.
you're in it too, right?
I was like under the blanket covering my body, only like my eyes out and looking like what's going on around me,
Okay.
and start like hearing people like screaming, people like crying very hard.
Yeah.
And then I was looking like Joe was like under a tree,
Uh-huh.
so I can't see her.
Really? I was under a tree too. Yeah.
She was telling me like this tree is calling me. I
Yeah,
want to be
the,
under
the
the
night
tree.
before,
like-
I had like a connection with this tree. We're around the fire pit. I was just looking at it like, I felt something for that tree. So I felt safe being under that tree
Yeah.
when the ceremony happened.
So you mentioned the fire pit. Real quick, let's just go back to the first night when you guys get there.
Mhm.
So tell us about that, because I remember I got there pretty late.
Mhm.
So by the time I got there, everybody was already in the circle. They were already like kind of halfway through the thing. When you guys got there, was it still kind of early? Was there a lot of people there?
We were setting up. Everyone was setting up. People were getting there.
Okay.
We got there around 4 o'clock. Right?
Yeah, we got there like early. Like it was
Mhm.
like good timing,
Okay.
and we found like good spot
Yeah.
for our tent.
Yeah, because ours was way on the outskirts. Well, number one, the person I went with decided they wanted to pick it way out there, and I'm like, why? Because like I feel so away from everybody, right? And then I just like went with it, whatever. Well, I wanted to be like in the middle with everybody, you know, it feels
Yeah.
like more safe or whatever. But so where'd you guys get your spot?
We was kind of like on the side, but like everyone here, but we was like a little bit on the side,
Okay.
but like close to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
we choose like close to the bathroom. We think
Yeah,
like
that's kinda
if we
weird.
wanna go.
So see where the bathroom hallway is?
Yeah.
We were like way on the opposite side where it's like, I don't even know, the outskirts or
really
whatever.
far.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But
You are on the no, we were on the side where the fire is, but like back.
yeah,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
was on the other
the
side.
fire is
far
here?
away.
Mhm.
Yes.
we were like way out here,
Yeah,
like an
yeah.
outlier. And I'm
Okay,
like,
got it.
okay, whatever, you know, I
Mhm.
don't want to argue, but okay, so you guys got a good spot. And then what happened after? What time did they usually start? Like a little fire pit. All right, so what time did they start the fire pit?
I think like we start around like 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think 5, 6. It was still bright out.
It was like 6. Like first, like we just like everyone was around the fire, and we introduced ourselves
Mhm.
and
We set our intentions too, right?
set
when we
our
were there.
intention, yeah. And then we did the dancing around the
Yeah.
fire. That was the best part. I
Yeah.
love it.
That's fun.
And there was like
Yeah.
housekeeping rules and stuff like that.
The translator.
Yeah, and a translator. That was amazing. It was
Yeah.
so authentic to me, like her speaking in Spanish
Uh-huh.
and having another Hispanic woman who is translating the whole time.
So you guys got there. You're on the fire. I know you said your intention was to connect with nature. What was your intention, Hatem?
So my intention was like to heal. When I got there, I said I want to heal myself.
Okay.
Because I have already spirit experience.
Yeah.
I want to have like kind of a human emotional experience.
You're like, I'm good with that. let's do some
Let's do
healing.
this here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's stay on earth this time.
Did you get your intention resolved?
Uh, kind of, but yeah, I still went somewhere else.
Okay. So you did actually get into the experience eventually.
Yes.
So even though you purged it out, the medicine still stayed inside of you.
Yes.
That's pretty crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
I didn't expect that.
So Mama Ayahuasca said there's probably so much
It
still
was,
left inside. you.
Yes, like it was. You're gonna experience it. Like you came already all the way here, so
Well, you know they say that once the medicine is in you, it's never gone. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the effect of like when you're on it is not going to be there, but the medicine is with you forever. The experience is with you forever. You're going to be way more connected with nature, way more connected to your spiritual self, right?
Yeah, because like the medicine is like a spirit itself, like, and then this spirit is gonna stay with you. All the wisdom like is gonna stay with you.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So you did actually go on your journey.
Yeah.
And I know we were talking about that, and then we went on this, but let's go back to you and your journey. So it took you 2.5 hours to finally start getting the medicine effects.
So yeah, so I thought I'm not gonna get the medicine like the effect because I already like purged it. I already threw up and at the beginning, so I felt like I'm not gonna have it, and everyone like around me like already crying and like screaming, and some of them just like saying gracias, gracias, screaming gracias. So I thought like I'm okay. I'm just gonna be watching this time.
Like I just got front row seats.
Then like start hitting me, like start like everything like start like moving around, like my head like starts spinning and start feeling, you know.
Yeah. So then did you close your eyes after that?
So I was fighting it.
Okay.
Like cause I didn't want to like experience anything. So I was like sitting on the ground and just trying like to stay awake. And that time I was like looking, I saw Jho, like she was under the tree, and few minutes later she was way over there, like, and
like she moved or she floated?
She was scrolling on the ground.
Okay.
And she was like so connected with the ground. She was laughing and talking, like.
Wow.
And I was like kind of surprised because like everyone is crying and she's like laughing and she's smiling and she's like so happy.
That's awesome.
I was like, what's going on? And then like it started like everyone started having like their peak of their experience, and then I went in my experience.
Okay.
And so my experience this time, I couldn't, like, I was trying to stay grounded, like I didn't want to let go. And then like the helper came and they were singing to me, and one of the lady, like, she's so powerful, like I feel her energy, like when she just tell me like just close your eyes, breathe, and I closed my eyes and I was gone.
Wow.
Just when she talked to me.
Yeah. It seems like ayahuasca is Mama Ayahuasca uses you a lot, like, you know, like you get deep into the experience.
Yes. So mainly like my experience, I was like a spirit this time. I went like to the spirit and I remember myself as a spirit just running around and dancing and singing.
Wow.
Going around, just. And then the experience from the first one in Florida also came back to me, and I was doing the same thing. I was like just a spirit going around and dancing and laughing, and it feels like I felt so alive.
Yeah.
Like there was like I'm really alive there, and like everything was, I don't know, it felt like there is the reality and coming back is the dream.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, if we are spiritual beings having a human experience, this is kind of like a dream.
A dream for the spirit, like kind of like it relax, it's asleep a little bit, or like it's kind of let the human and the spirit work together.
Yeah.
But like when I was in the experience, I was just a spirit.
Yeah.
And just laughing, dancing, going around, spinning around. Then I came back. It didn't last long. It feels like it was quick. And then I went back again, like to the dark.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
And I saw all the symbols, all the stuff, like the dark stuff, the entities. And this time I wasn't scared.
Oh, so you understood it more.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not scared anymore. And
you faced your fears.
I faced my fear. The entity was there. So they told me like don't say the name too much because you give it energy. But like you guys know what I'm talking about. So the king of or whatever of the entities in the darkness, the others.
Yeah.
I was like in front of him and he just tried showing me like I was in his dimension, like seriously, like I felt like I'm in his dimension, like the whole world was different, like everything was like kind of it has like red color, kind of 3D, like you're watching like a 3D building. I was like in a 3D, universe, and it felt so real, and was with him, and I started showing all his symbols, the stars and other symbols. I don't remember what is it, and I was I was there, and then I wasn't scared this time. I wasn't scared, and I was saying to him, if I have contract with you in the past, or if I have contract with you in other life, or if I have contract with you consciously, subconsciously, all the contract is cut off.
Wow.
I have no contract with you.
Wow.
I'm not working with you.
So you canceled your subscription.
Yes. Just cancel the subscription.
I don't belong to your OnlyFans
Delete
anymore.
the app and everything.
Delete the app.
Delete the app and everything. Just go away.
That's pretty brave of you, though, to face your fears. And well, I mean, fear is false evidence appearing real, right?
Yeah.
Just basically face the energy and just realize you're stronger and bigger than the energy.
Then like he started like to scare me with like scary faces.
Okay.
Like start seeing like really like scary faces. Then I wasn't scared from it too. Then I was like, I see scary face and say like, oh, that's so cute.
You're like, that looks like one of my ex-girlfriends.
Yeah, sure.
What's she doing here, right? Yeah, what was I thinking, right?
And then like he showed me other face. I was, oh, that's also cute.
Yeah.
And then I was like challenging. I was like, okay, you have 5 minutes. Go try your scariest face and come back.
Oh wow.
And then like he came back, and seriously, like the face, it looks cute. Like I look at it, like it's cute.
Yeah.
And like, oh, that's cute. Just go away. And you're annoying. Go away.
So you realized you were more powerful than the entity.
Yes, I was. So they told us before, like, when you are in the medicine, you could be seeing entities, contacting with entities, and you have to say, like, you have to tell them, I am love and light. Who are you?
Yeah.
So Amori Luz. Who are you?
Yeah.
I'm love and light. And so you get like a lot of entities. Like I saw entities and like different shapes, and I just was telling them like, Amori Luz.
Yeah,
I'm love and light. Who are you? And they just like went away, but like it was like annoying. Like it came back a lot. And this time one of the helper, like, she came and she gave me like water, and she said, this is water from the river, like you drink it. I didn't want to drink water, but she said, no, you have to drink it, it's a medicine. After I drink the water, I start purging.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it felt like when I was purging, it felt like I'm purging out all like satanic symbols and all entities and all like negative stuff. All of them is just going away.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like really good purging out all of that. Even though I didn't drink much of the medicine, it was little, but like it felt everything went out. And start like after that, I came back like kind of still like seeing who's around me, and I saw like one of the girls was having hard time, and I felt like the medicine wanted me to send her love.
Mm-hmm.
So I like sit down like this, and I was facing her, and I was just telling her like, you are love, you are love, you are love. And then I was hearing her, like, she wasn't hearing me, but like she was saying gracias, gracias, gracias.
Yeah.
And I just kept telling her like, you are love, you are enough, you are wanted, you are love, you are love, you are love.
That's awesome.
And it felt so good, like just it felt like the medicine wanted me to help others when I was on the trip.
Yeah, that was the same experience with me. Because I remember at first I was scared of that. Because it seems like there's 3 different planes or different levels, right?
Levels, yeah.
Of energy, let's say. And the one where everyone's in their pain and suffering, that's like the lowest level.
Yeah.
Like the vibration is low. But I went from like you trying to avoid it because it was scaring me to the medicine told me, no, you're supposed to help them. So
Yes.
every time I would get caught in somebody's whatever, their bad energy, I'd say, amor y luz, amor y luz, amor y luz, until they would stop focusing on the negativity, and then they'd be saying amor y luz, and then I would jump to like a different plane all of a sudden. Like then I go right back on my journey. And I remember giving the directions, and she said, if you find yourself in something that's too good or bad, you want to ask, what's in it for me? Is this for me, or is this not for me? Because you could get caught up in somebody else's journey, right? So I'd always be like, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? Is this for me? Is this for me? What am I supposed to learn from this? What? And then that would just kick me right back onto my journey.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what helped me a lot. And then obviously saying Amor y Luz.
Yeah, it's kind of like the medicine, like it changed your vibration, and it's open like your third eye. So when your vibration change, you go through like different vibrations.
Yeah.
And one of the vibration, the entities can visit you and talk to you. And then you switch to other vibration. You switch to love, and this is all what you're gonna feel and what you're gonna share.
Yeah.
And then you switch again maybe to human vibration, what we vibrate normally, and you just look around. It feels kind of normal, and then it's kind of just change of vibration.
That's definitely how my experience was. Like I just kept going from the low plane, the middle plane, to the highest plane was love, obviously, right? Like peace.
Yeah.
Love. I was connected with all the singing and the shamans, right? So let's take a deep breath. Because anytime you talk about deep stuff, that helps you. That helps you get back on the right track. All right. So you faced your fears and you got over it, and then you ended up helping people.
Yeah, and other thing, like also, they help me a lot. Like whoever worked there, like they are so good, so nice, and they know like who's having bad trip, and who need help, and who wants to be like in his own.
Yeah.
And she just came to me and told me, put your face on the ground. And then when I put my face on the ground, and she told me kiss the earth. First told me like touch the soil, touch the dust, and then she told me kiss the dust.
Okay.
So when I kissed the dust, I saw like a beautiful like women, like kind of blue, and with geometric shapes.
Okay.
And after the experience, I was talking with one of the girls, and she told me, oh, my friend saw the same. She did the same, and she saw the same thing.
Oh, wow.
Let me call her. And she brought her friend to me, and she told me, that's exactly what I saw.
Yeah.
When I put my head my forehead on the ground, I saw like a lady, like kind of blue and with geometric shapes.
Okay.
And they told us like this is like Mother Earth, or this is like a symbol of Mother Earth.
Wow, that's awesome. So you reconnected, and you got rid of all the negative stuff.
Yeah.
I just realized they have like a picture, like an art picture in the kitchen with a woman like blue, and it's colorful around
really?
her. Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I noticed.
I want to see it.
Maybe
I want to see the same.
I didn't know what that symbol was about.
Yeah.
But Mother Earth.
Well, I mean, and that's pretty much. I think that's what this whole experience is to face your fears or your past traumas or whatever you need to do. It's there for that, right? And it's not a cure-all either. Like I want people to know, if you do this, your life's not going to be like 180 degree better, but you will get better. Maybe sometimes, I don't know. Maybe not for me because I didn't do the full purge. I was also fighting it. My ego ended up winning at the end.
Yeah. So from like everyone like was sharing his experience. And so many of them, they were like addicted to alcohol or addicted to drugs, and the medicine helped them to get over their drugs addiction. And so many of them have like trauma, like childhood trauma. So mainly like if you're having something, big event happen in your life, and you have all this sadness inside you and depression, and you're trying to be like strong, and maybe you are just going away, like you're trying to escape away from your fears or from your trauma. All of that is just still in your body. When you take the medicine, it's put you like against it. Like here is like your childhood trauma. Now you gotta fix it now.
Yeah.
There is why you keep running away from it. Like you usually like someone like addicted to alcohol or drugs. Something bad maybe happened to them and they just want to forget. they just want to be like a drunk all the time. They don't want to live in this life.
Yeah.
And this is what like Mother Ayahuasca showed them. Okay, this is your problem, face it. And then just like they mainly face the problem, and if they want to scream, you can scream. You want to cry, just cry, and just let go. Just let go.
Yeah. So did you find yourself purging a lot this time, or was it just that first time?
Just one time.
Oh, so you got it all out right in the beginning.
Yes.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's something that had been stuck inside of you for a long time that needed to just get out.
I felt like it was like all planned that for me just drink a little bit. That's all what I need.
Well, that first time, shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, you've had
5 cups.
5 cups.
Yeah, and like 24 hours, like
That's
30
a lot.
hours. And this time, like just maybe a little bit.
Well, you've had like 5 times as much medicine as Joe and I both did already, so.
Yeah.
So let's get to you, Joe. I mean, I guess I heard you were really connecting with nature, but tell us about your experience. Like.
Yeah. So my intention was to feel free, right, and feel connect with nature. It was really cold. I was wearing a white dress. It was a cold morning. I was already cold before we even took the medicine.
Yeah.
And I remember I picked my spot. I had the blanket over me, just laid down, fetal position. And 30 minutes later, I just remember I started seeing shapes. I had my eyes closed, like green, geometric, and red. And I already knew that was going to happen, right? I was anticipating that. And then I just remember tears came running down my eyes. It was tears of joy. I wasn't sure where it was coming from, but it felt good, right? And then I just remember like the medicine started affecting my body. And I was kind of like, I was getting cold, like I was shivering cold. They had to put like another blanket on me, and later on I found out it's usually the first timers, it happens. You get really shivery and cold. And then I was like kind of shaky too. And then I remember I kept wanting to go to sleep. And I remember before we did take a shot, no matter what, stay awake.
Right.
Yeah, and then later on I found out that there was darkness trying to pull me in. Because the whole time I was fighting to stay awake. I was telling myself, stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. And then the helpers would come to me and like, like they do like the smoke. And then I guess they sing to me too.
Yeah, they were like singing around you and doing like the cleanses with the smoke.
I remember I had my eyes closed. I can feel like some smoke or cleanses or some kind of heat next to me. And I was just trying to stay awake, and I even told them like, I don't know why I keep wanting to go to sleep. I don't understand. Like I just want to go to sleep, but I kept saying the whole time, I'm about to lose, love and light, love and light. I think subconsciously, I knew something was trying to pull me in to go to sleep, but I was like, no, I'm not going to sleep, right? And then I kept continuing to be like really cold. So from under the tree. I ended up like going towards the sun, right? The sunlight. And I was just there getting some heat. And also they told us if there's like, you feel like that some dark energy in you, you basically send it to the sun. Remove that out of your body and send it to the sun. I think that's basically what I was doing and getting some heat. And then after that, they kept coming to me and, giving me water. And I remember I didn't want to drink the water too. For some reason, I don't want to eat. I don't want to drink anything, like nothing. And I remember before I even purged, I started spitting. Like I just want to it was coming out.
Yeah, like dry heaving and
I was spitting, right? And then I remember my first purge. One of the helpers, the powerful woman he's talking about, he was like, look at that. Look at your what you threw up.
Yeah.
And I opened my eyes. I was like, oh, it's yellow. And then I was like, why is it yellow? And then they said whenever you purge, you're supposed to ask what the origin is of that purge.
Yeah.
I didn't get to ask.
Oh,
I didn't get to ask nothing the whole time. And I was like, oh, wow, I finally purged. I had my eyes closed and it felt like I was purging like so much, but it was just water.
Right.
It was really strange.
Yeah, because you were empty, which is a good thing, because you followed The rules.
Right. So I didn't really know what that was about. And then the second time I purged, I looked, it was green.
Oh, that's crazy.
So it was like yellow and then green.
Mm.
And then I remember when they kept giving me water, I was just like bowing down to the water, being grateful, and just, it's sacred and it's medicine, and just being grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And then after some time, trying to stay awake, I started focusing on nature and start playing with the dirt, the sand. To me, it felt like it was sandy, sands
Like
at
a
the
beach.
beach,
Yeah.
right? Start playing with it. I'm like, oh wow, this feels so good. Like, it just felt so good that like I started rolling in the ground or whatever, and I would just like, I was one with the dirt. I had it on my face, I had it on my clothes. I'm gonna show you guys the clothes in a minute. The white dress, and I was just like loving every moment. Like, I've never felt that type of connection with nature in my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I've been wanting. And then I also started talking to trees.
So guys, I was awake when that experience happened to her.
She was having an experience.
Yeah, so I was like looking at her, she was like laughing and talking to someone, and she was having like a conversation. It's not like us like just talking all the way. Like, she was talking like few seconds, few sentence, wait for answer, and then she continued. And then I want to ask her like, who were you talking to? Like, you
It
are
was a tree.
Yeah, it was a tree.
yeah, and she was like just rolling on the dirt, like she didn't care at all. Like, all the dust, like her face, like all her face, her hair was like the dust on her face, on her hair, like all her body. Her white dress was like very dark,
Yeah.
and
So your confirmation that what she's saying actually was happening.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
watching this what she was doing, and I felt like I felt like she was talking to the trees and she was talking to the ground. Like, she was so connected. Like,
Yeah.
she wants to merge to the ground. Like,
Yeah.
her face just like on the ground,
Yeah.
and smiling, laughing.
Yeah, so I started seeing 3D pretty much.
Okay.
I was looking at the trees, and it was kind of waving around, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see any smile or anything like that. Some people see it smiling, but I felt it. I felt the connection. And then I think, yeah, I felt so happy that the trees existed. And also, I remember seeing, like, I thought it was an eagle, but it might be a hawk flying across the sky. It went around like twice.
So you opened your eyes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I opened my eyes. Oh, maybe, yeah, my eyes were open. Like,
Okay.
I would close my eyes and open. Before I had that wonderful experience, when I was under the tree, when the helpers would come to me, I kept telling them, like, I hear everything. I hear the crying, and it was so hard to focus, right?
Yeah. That's
So
one
they-
of the biggest challenges.
Yeah. So they told me, like, hey, just focus on you, okay? Just focus on you. Stay conscious, and then let go. And I think that's when I started purging and whatnot. And then
So did you when you started focusing, did all the noise just disappear?
in a way, yeah.
Because that's what happened to me.
Yeah. So, and then after that, I gotta like think about this. Yeah, so I started, merging with the dirt and the sand and stuff like that. I just remember, opening my eyes and seeing people cry, and like I was happy that they were crying because I knew they were releasing it, surrendering to it, right? And also, I remember like talking about the people that I love and care about. I even mentioned one of my exes. I was like, I love you, right? Just go live your life, be happy, and
Yeah.
just leave me alone. Stop trying to hit me up,
Yeah.
like stop trying to reach me.
Get out my DMs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually a true
Oh,
story.
wow.
Yeah, so I was like,
I didn't know.
just live your life, okay? I love you, but just live your life.
That's cool. So you kind of let go.
Yeah, and like I didn't have any like hatred towards her. No, it was just like, just be happy. I just don't want anything to do with you, but just be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because like you and I are so similar in a lot of ways, but like the first time I had my first out of body experience in a church, it happened right after I forgave and let go of one of my exes. and then boom, I hit the ground, and I was floating and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing, which let me see if I can remember, you were talking about it. Well, anyways, we'll go back to it because I don't remember, but yeah, I had the same experience. Like it was like coming to peace and terms with an ex, and just letting them go, and then I kind of moved forward and step forward into like my future, like something better for me, right?
Yeah.
So real quick, you were having a full-on conversation. Do you remember any of that conversation?
I remember most of it.
Okay. Do you want to share that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, I remember talking to the trees. They're like, "Hi, trees. I love you. Like, thank you. Blah blah blah. I'm grateful for you." And I do. I don't know why. I think it's like a lot of things that I've suppressed and thought about that I didn't verbally share with anyone. It started coming out for me, and I even talked about the bliss seekers. I said Isaac, Hatem,
I
Dionn
hear that.
Renee.
Yes.
I don't know why. I was just so happy when I was talking about it though, and like how like we're gonna do great things, or we already are doing great things.
Right.
I even talked about like how I miss my brother. I love my nephew. I love my dad. I love my mom. Blah blah blah. And then besides you guys and family and some exes, I told myself that I love myself.
That's powerful.
Yeah, I was like, I love myself, and I was just like happy about it. And then I remember like rubbing my stomach, like I'm healing you, I'm healing you, I'm healing you, like rubbing my womb, basically healing my womb.
Wow.
For women, that you can do that, like heal, like through energy and whatnot, right? I remember doing that. What else happened? I don't want to forget.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I never opened my eyes during the whole experience because they said not to do that. I think I did when I had to go to I had purge.
Yeah.
But like it kind of kicks you out of the experience, but you were full on eyes open.
Yeah.
In the experience.
Yeah, because I don't know why, but like I think whenever I close my eyes, I want to go to sleep.
Oh.
And I think that's the reason too. Like half of the time, I would close my eyes and then I would like open my eyes. I was really fighting to stay awake. It was like it was a really like bad struggle for me.
So at least you conquered it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. You noticed that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And then what else? So it was a wonderful experience for me because I've never, like I said, I've never connected with nature as much as I did. And I've let go. The reason being, I said that because I'm one of those people that always want to be clean, want to smell good, want to look good, whatever, right?
Nothing
and then
wrong
that,
with hygiene.
what?
Nothing wrong with good hygiene.
Yeah, and that's at that time, like at that experience, I didn't care. I was like dirty, like dirt come to me. Like for me, I felt like I was cleansing myself from, like I was killing my ego.
Yeah.
Of wanting to look good all the time and smell good and be clean all the time. Like you know what, my intention was to be free, and I did just that by rolling around in dirt, looking all dirty, even like my face was black. Yeah, so to me that was a huge thing of surrendering and letting go, because I don't get down and dirty like that. You know what I mean? And I was completely dirty, like I didn't even care. I felt free.
That's amazing.
I was really free.
Because that's the big reason that I didn't make my final breakthrough. I could just share this. So the whole time it was a struggle with me and my ego. And my ego is like smart. My ego is like it knew how to just, when it saw me heading towards the light, it would come in and be like, hey, but what about this? Or hey, what about that? So it's not about me, but I just want to share why. Like I'm so happy that you did make the breakthrough. But in the end, and I even told people this, but Mama Ayahuasca said, Isaac, if you want the full breakthrough, you must 100% let go of your ego. And the thing I was fighting was I didn't want to crap my pants, right? Like, because that's my ego. Like, I'm not going to shit myself. I'm not going to whatever. So the medicine said, or Mama Ayahuasca said, if you want the full breakthrough, you have to like purge. In other words, purge through my booty hole.
Yeah.
And it's either, and you're not going to the bathroom, buddy. Like you're doing it here.
Yeah.
Because that would be the full ego death, right? Like,
right.
I shit myself in front of like 150 people, right? And here's the thing, I fought it. I said no. I said I got up. I was like, I was still like super in the medicine, right? Because I was
Yes.
stumbling and like I was fighting it. And then I said, I gotta go to the bathroom, And I went to the bathroom, and literally because I had nothing in me, like nothing came out.
Yes.
So imagine that.
It's
If I
just
would've-
an ego thing.
Yeah, if I would have just not listened to my ego, I would have tried to poop, but nothing would have came out, but I would have got my breakthrough like you did.
Yeah.
But because I didn't get the breakthrough.
I wanted to pee. I mean, I wanted to poo. I'm like, why would I have to poo? I'm like, I remember talking out loud, like, I have to poo. And I was like, oh, you know what? I can't even get up at all. Like, I was like, it was heavy medicine. And I was like, all right, one of the helpers, like, oh, why don't you just do that? I'm like, okay, I'll just do it here. I tried to poo and pee. Like, I was ready to, like, go and surrender. I'm in nature anyway, and people are doing their own thing, you know, minding their own business. Like, who cares? I'll just do it. I'll kill my ego right now, and let's do it. But it didn't come out.
Well, I mean, but see, that's the trick.
Yeah.
The ego doesn't want you to even have the chance of doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for you because you actually did it. And for me, that's what kept me from getting the full experience is that when it told me, it said, like, if you really want ego death, like, you have to basically crap your pants right here. Nothing would have came out because I had nothing in my thing, but I fought it. And I said, no. And then the crazy part is I wasn't even done with the medicine, and I didn't even go back on the bed after that. I was like stumbling around the kitchen, like walking around, like my ego again. Like I was grabbing fruit and I wasn't even supposed to, and they're like, "Hey, you're supposed to be here." I'm like, "Oh, sorry." So I basically ended my experience before. So you got the full experience.
I got the full experience, and like he said, I was the last one to get up. I was like, I could not even get up. Like I would, you know, lay down, sit up, kneel down. I would kneel the most, I think, then lay down again. I just couldn't go anywhere.
Nope, just kidding.
And I was just playing with the dirt the whole time. And before going to this experience, I thought I was excited to go to different dimensions, like you guys have shared with me. You know, caveman days and being a spirit and all that stuff. I didn't go nowhere. I stayed grounded the whole time, and I think that's what Mama Ayahuasca wanted to show me. I can be present and feel alive being on the ground. Wow. And it was like even though it was like a 3D experience, I remember some of the helpers would come to me and look at their face. It was like so sharp, very sharp, and I see nothing else. It's like imagine having like this really amazing lens and you take a photo of someone's face. That's all you see is the face, and then everything else is blurry. So I've never looked at anyone like that in my whole life.
So you were like in portrait mode the whole time.
It was portrait mode, and it was just so clear and vibrant and lively. And to all the photographers out there, I think you can kind of imagine what that looks like. And it was just like, it was so beautiful. Like I saw people differently. It was more vibrant and lively, and I was laser focused. And when they spoke to me, I didn't have anything created in my mind. I was just basically listening to what they were saying, 100%.
That's awesome. And I also saw the helpers differently after. Because I remember this one guy, he was like an older gentleman. I don't know if he was there, like an older Hispanic guy with like light eyes. Like, I think they were even blue almost.
Yeah, and he was there. Gentleman, yeah.
And at first, I just kind of was like judging him the whole time. I don't know why. I was like, oh, like he seemed kind of mean or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was the one that actually helped me go to the bathroom. And on the way back, I looked at him and I was like, you know what? Can I tell you something? He's like, yeah. I'm like, when I got here, I was judging you. I go, but now I see your heart. Like, you're a good person.
Yeah.
I was like, you're a really good person. I could see your heart. And he's like, you could see he was like really like happy about that. And I was like, I could see people's hearts after that. I wasn't judging them like how I did before. I could actually see them for who they truly were. And I've seen them much differently.
So you were basically looking at people beyond your ego. It was like more of your higher self, your heart. And also, I want to add another thing. He did come up to me too to check up on me. And I remember like touching his feet. I'm like to see like, oh, you're real. Like, this is you. And I felt like a grandfather vibes with him. Yeah. And I remember during my trip, I did remember saying my grandfather's name, who I never met before. Wow. He was, I was told he was a womanizer, and he did some bad things in the past, pretty bad things, but I said out loud, like, I'm sending you love and light. I know I never met you, but I love you, and I'm sending you love and light. And I even said his name.
So this is one of the things I also heard her saying, that like she was saying like her grandfather and send her love. I was hearing that.
That's cool.
And I told her about it. Like, I hear you talking about saying names and your grandfather.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like the ceremony, after the ceremony, like you have new perspective for everything. It's like how you treat others, like how you think about nature in general. Like, so everything around us has a spirit, and everything around us can understand us and communicate with us in a certain way.
I just want to address nature, because after the ceremony, I didn't have a garden in my backyard. Now I have a full-on garden.
Right.
I used to be afraid of bees. Now I'm not even afraid of bees because I know that they're just there to help, right?
Yeah.
And they're not there to hurt.
Right.
So, just like you're saying, Hatem, you do become more connected with nature. Now one of my favorite things is just to go out in my garden and look at all my fruits and vegetables and just the greenery. It's like, it's a lot better.
I have the tree, I remember.
Yeah. So mainly like in religion, like in Holy Book, Quran and of Prophet Muhammad, they talk about like everything in life has a spirit and they can understand and they can talk. And that's like mentioned in the Holy Book.
Wow.
But like we read it, we studied it, but we don't understand it really. So like if you look at the sun, know who you are and can understand you. And we have like one of hadith, like Prophet Muhammad said, like if you do something good or bad in the judgment day, everything gonna say like Isaac, you did this in that time. Like the sun, the sky, the ground. So if you're doing something bad, you think like you're doing it somewhere like far away, no one can hear it.
Yeah.
And that's not true. Like the sun has a spirit, the sky has a spirit, the trees has a spirit. And so we study that in religion, but we never understand it. Like the way they teach us this is different. And there's like one situation where Prophet Muhammad was with his friend on a mountain, that mountain called Uhud. And when they were on the top of the mountain started shaking. And then Prophet Muhammad said, Uhud, come down. There is a messenger and believers on you. So he communicated with the mountain, told the mountain to come down, stop shaking. And there is also, I'm not sure if like in Christianity they know this story or they talk about.
I think Moses was the one that went up the mountain and got the 10 Commandments from God.
Yes.
It's very similar. And it's funny because, again, I'm not saying that I'm not religious, but like I'm thinking like that could have been the mountain could have been a volcano. And it could have been erupting. And then he did something and it stopped. So they saw it as like a act of God or whatever, but really it was just nature. It was a volcano erupting, but something profound came from it. But there is something in Christianity, it's Moses, I don't know exactly, but he goes up to a mountain because he's supposed to talk to God, and then he comes back with a stone with the 10 Commandments on it, and that's how we're supposed to live, basically.
Yeah, so like in religion they said like God told him like look at the mountain, like if the mountain stay into place you can see me, but like you can't see me, like otherwise you're gonna like blow away like from the light of God.
Okay.
And other story about one prophet, his name's Sulaiman. I'm not sure if this name like was
I've heard of the name, but I'm not sure.
Like he used to talk with animals.
Okay.
And he has like a team of animals and talk with animals, and he also used to like direct the wind. The wind was working with him.
Okay.
Why I'm saying this, because like religion like when tell you about this is just saying those things are alive and has a spirit, and it's not like just they tell you as a story. No, like they tell you like talk to them, like you can communicate with them. And this is one of the things like ayahuasca like teach us, like so like the guys organizing the ceremony, they told us like we don't worship ayahuasca, we don't worship the sun, we don't worship earth, we communicate with them, like they have a spirit, we talk with them. And they just tell us like talk to your water, like this water like has like spirit and it can help you to heal. And like one of the helper told me just keep cup of water, you know, at night at the kitchen or next to your bed, and in the morning talk to the water and drink it. So first like it feel crazy, like how are you gonna talk to the water? Like But like when you like go back to religion, like to like 2,000 years ago or more, they used to talk to water. They used to talk to the sun. They used to talk with everything. So everything is alive, and so the sun was helping us actually to heal.
Yeah.
So like we were sending all like the negative energy, we're sending it to the sun.
Right.
And we are not like destroying the bad energy, we're just like recycling.
Okay.
So like you send the negative energy to the sun, and the sun sends you back the positive energy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like, cause like someone like listening to the podcast, he doesn't know what's ayahuasca. He gonna think like, what those guys talking about?
Bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, but like
tree huggers.
yeah, but like you go back to religion, and mostly everyone believe in religion. The religion talk about this. Talk like there was like messengers talk with the sea, they talk with the wind, they talk with animals, they talk to nature.
Yeah, even not just religion. Native Americans, the Egyptians.
Yes.
The biggest god of Egypt was the sun god.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the sun god is like the main god of Egypt. They basically worship the sun. Yeah.
Yeah, because they can't talk to, like, they know like it has a spirit. So
yeah, I mean we're all technically connected, right? And
yes.
they did a study, like some little, I don't know if it was elementary school or high school kids. They put two plants, and one of the plants the kids would come in and talk bad to it.
Yes, I know.
Like say bad
yes.
things. And the other one, the kids would say good things. I think like a few weeks later, that other plant that would say bad things to was dead.
Yes.
And the other one was like flourishing.
Yeah.
Just from them speaking to the plant.
Right.
So yeah, we can talk, and it's very powerful what you say. And
after the experience, like I was like looking at the trees. Hi, tree.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, like in the morning today, I was going to work. I was, oh, good morning, trees. It's a
Yeah.
good morning.
And you know,
you start feeling it.
Yeah, some people out there might think, oh, you're weird, but you
Yes.
know what? You're just disconnected. That's all it is.
I mean, like once you get like to like kind of level of spirituality and connection, you can see them and talk to them. Like you see their spirit. And they said like before we took the medicine, they told us like maybe you're gonna see the tree smiling at you and talking to you, or maybe you're gonna see the tree extending their aura and give you a hug, and you feel love.
Wow.
I didn't experience that, but like going back like to my religion, because like I'm really religious person. Like I believe like in God, I believe like in Islam, I believe in Quran, and whatever I'm learning like this, I go back and I find there is something similar in the religion.
You can connect it to the Quran.
I can connect to the Quran, but like the way they teach us Quran is different than what's
that's when humans get involved,
this
right?
is when a human they start changing and playing with religion. But like it's all there.
That was my biggest thing with Catholic religion, because I was raised
Yeah.
Catholic, and I get nothing against Catholic religion if you're Catholic, but I was raised Catholic. I never felt like there was always a human in between you and God, a priest, right, or a nun. I just didn't feel right to me. I felt like I don't need to go through a human. Like humans are imperfect. We're all imperfect. I need to go straight to the source, and that's when I found Christianity. And I was like, oh, this makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because it's just you and God and nobody else.
Yes.
Right.
And that's what they told us, like with ayahuasca, like you are connecting with God, like there is no one in between.
And God is love, so you're just
God is
connected
love,
with love.
God is the creator, and God is everything.
So,
love and light.
Yeah, amor y luz, right?
Amor y luz, yeah.
Yeah. So we also that's cool. So you were on the trip for not too long, or?
Yes, it was like really short, like it wasn't long trip.
But you got what you needed out of it.
But yeah, so I experienced like getting away from this dimension. Like I experienced it like fully, like I was gone.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for long, but I was gone.
And you know, what you experience is all religion, basically. Good and evil, God and the other person.
Yes.
Like that's religion, right? For me, I could be wrong. I might be wrong. But I don't believe there's going to be a judgment day when you die. I don't believe there's going to be heaven and hell. I believe it's going to be what you experienced. Your soul's like, oh, well, that was fun. Like, I'm done with my human experience now. I'm back in this dimension where you're happy. Like, you don't even know your name, or you don't know any of that earthly stuff, right? And then reincarnation is still something I'm learning about. But I do believe that maybe you do pop right back into another experience, right? Because they say like time is...
Yes, that's funny you mentioned that, because when I was coming back from my experience, I wasn't sure I'm gonna come back as me or
like, shoot.
something else.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure like I'm coming back as the same person as
Yeah.
me, as Hatem living here.
Well, I'm glad you came back as Hatem because we need you. Remember,
we need to finish the podcast.
Oh yeah.
I asked you last time. I said, so why did we come back? You said because we're not done
We're
yet.
not
Yes.
done yet.
So you know why we're not done,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so your experience was the longest out of everybody.
Yeah, I do. I almost forgot to add one thing.
Sure.
I remember when I was talking to the trees and having that connection, that bond. I remember making a commitment during my trip. I was like, I'm going to protect you for the rest of my life. I was talking to the trees.
Wow.
And one of the helpers came by like, hey, I had said his name. I just made a commitment to the tree that I'm going to protect it for the rest of my life. And I was like, that's a good commitment.
Wow.
And they walked away. I'm like, and I just felt great. Yeah. Yeah.
Because she's all about protecting nature. And,
Yeah.
you know, especially with the fires that happened recently and
Right.
stuff like that. You know, we're not destroying Earth, but we're destroying our ability to survive on Earth. We're destroying the climate that humans can survive on, right? Mm-hmm. And trees are a big part of that, right? They clean the air and they give us oxygen. Mm-hmm. You know, like without trees, there's no oxygen. You know, there's just carbon dioxide or whatever, and we wouldn't be able to survive in that type of environment.
Right. And I remember, I think it was after the ceremony, one of the helpers, the powerful energy that you're talking about, she was saying how, you know, the earth is going through a transformation. This pandemic will not last forever.
Yeah.
And it just, it made me feel confident, feel at ease of everything that's going on and fear less, basically. That we are going through a transformation. That's what's happening.
So this is one of the thing like I got also from the experience. Like there is war between like light and dark.
Yeah.
And I saw that like the dark right now like dominating everything. I'm not like into like conspiracy theory and stuff.
Yeah.
But I saw like the dark is real and it has its symbols, it has its power, and it's like programming like the majority. And we are just trying like, or we are the light and we're just getting away from the darkness. Mm-hmm. And everyone like right now more start like awakening, you know. Mm-hmm. And just like to know if you are on the right path or the wrong path. So they told us like when you are in the experience, if you see entity or whatever, just say like love and light. So you can use this in this life too. Like whoever you're dealing with, like is he love and light? If he is love and light, you can follow them.
Right.
If they are like dark, like you don't want to deal with them, you know.
Yeah.
Or that's like in politics and everything, you know. And whatever the company is, if they are trying to spread love and peace and light, so that's the right place to be with, you know.
Yeah. Also, to everyone out there, the Bliss Seekers is about love and light.
That's
Just
right.
a reminder out there.
Yeah. We want people to reconnect with themselves, find their true purpose. That's the reason maybe darkness, as you call it, maybe I like to call it disconnection, because you have so many people that are just going through life on autopilot. Like they're totally disconnected. They don't know what they want. They say 87% of people don't like their job and 10% of people hate their job. So that's 97% of people do not like their job. Mm. So what does that mean? Only 3% of people are actually living their purpose and following their bliss, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the darkness is disconnection, because the more disconnected you are, the more you feel like you're alone, you're in dark places. And darkness could be a lot of things for a lot of people. It could be addictions. Mainly addictions too is very powerful. It could be drug addiction, alcohol addiction, food addiction, sex addiction, you know what I mean? Social media addiction. I don't know if you guys have heard that new documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. Mm-mm. They literally interview the top executives from Facebook, the ones that created social media. Yeah. And they're having this social dilemma because what they created, they thought it was going to be a good thing. It's turning out to be ruining society. Yeah. And you have these high-level executives like the former president of Facebook, the former vice president of Instagram, like people that created the like button, like all this stuff, that were really scared to speak out for a long time. because the tech industry is like this big, I don't know, like they know it's probably headed down the wrong direction, but they don't care, you know, because it's all about advertising, and it's basically the premise is they know everything we're doing. Like they have an avatar of us, they know our habits, they know what makes us tick, and the whole job of the algorithm is to get us to click, to get us to be stuck on our phones.
Yeah.
Like most of those executives do not allow their kids to have social media until like 16. Like they're not allowed to do social media. They're not allowed to have phones until they're like, Steve Jobs never allowed his kids to have iPads and all that kind of stuff. Because they understand the power of the stuff that they created.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's like the programming of the dark. Like this
Yeah.
is like a symbol of like being programmed by the dark.
Right.
And just you get away from this. So I've been like deleting social media for so many times, or not using social media for a week or so.
Right.
And it feels so good, like just to disconnect all of that. Because like as you said, like the main goal of social media, they want you to stay on the app as long as they can get you to stay there.
It's about being there so they can increase their advertising revenue.
Yes.
And you know, we are starting a social media company, right? Or this kind of business, but we want to produce good, you know.
Good, yeah.
Love and light. Love and light.
Intentional.
You know?
Love and light. That's like the main reason I got to videography and documentary.
Yeah.
So I want to like contribute, make more of this good content.
And you will. I promise
Yes.
you will. You guys should watch this Social Dilemma.
I'm
It's
that.
powerful. Like it made me go like, wow. Like even the guy, he was the president of Facebook before they started making money. He's like, my job was to monetize Facebook. How to figure out how to monetize Facebook. And he's like, I figured out it was all about advertising. And the rest is history, right? So
Yeah, well, I want to add something to that too. One of my good friends at Marquis, Des and I know her. I had a conversation with her, like, you know, I like taking breaks from social media. I'm not on it for a few days, this and that. And she tells me, you know, whenever she does use social media, she makes sure that she's doing it intentionally.
yeah.
So I start doing it.
Yes.
Like whenever I do post something, it's very intentional.
Yeah.
It has a purpose, you know.
It was meant to be a tool. That's what they said.
Right.
But one of the main guys, he says a tool is like a hammer. It doesn't do anything if it's just there, right? Social media has become more than a tool. It's become something else, right? Because it shouldn't affect you if you're not using it. You know what I mean? But I don't remember exactly how I said it, but it's on the documentary. But we want to use this powerful tool for good, right?
Right.
And that's what I really love about Mr. Beast. Shout out to Mr. Beast. What really got me onto this is like he said, you know what I really like about YouTube and social media is you can be good and be successful. Because in most media, it's always negative. Like no one's gonna watch usually positive stuff on regular TV, right? It's all about how negative and how much fear and drama, right? Well, he's proven that you can make your whole entire content about being positive and helping people and changing having fun and be super successful.
Yeah.
So that's what I really loved about it. So yeah, social media can be a very bad thing, but it can be a very good thing too. But I really recommend you guys watch that. I think it's called The Social Dilemma.
Social Dilemma.
Yeah. So now you guys are finishing your experience, and tell us a little bit about the after you were like, you know, coming out of it.
It took me a while.
Really?
So like we was like they finished the ceremony, like we sing and everything, like the last song, and she was still like laying down, and then it took like 30 minutes. We start like everyone sharing his experience.
It's called an integration
circle.
Sharing your experiences, yeah.
Yeah, and she was asleep.
I had to go back and lay down. Everyone was up already, and I'm just like, I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was just like so drained, like mentally and physically drained. Like, you know, the whole time I felt, you know, I felt like I was thinking to myself, whenever you get your third eye chakra open, it will drain you mentally and physically. So I'm assuming that's what was happening. But and everyone else was eating. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get something to eat. But I was still high from the medicine. I was still on it. I got something to eat. It was hard for me to eat, and I just like remember, going like this to one of the logs that you sit on. One of the girls came up to me like, "You want some water?" Like, yeah. And then she gave me some water, and then I ended up going back to my spot under the tree and taking a nap.
Wow.
A full blown nap. And then I woke up and I remember they were all around in a circle doing the integration, talking about their experiences.
So you actually did go to sleep?
Yeah.
Wow.
I went to sleep. Yeah, I was okay.
Did you dream at all? Or?
No, I don't think so.
It was just your body resting.
Yeah. And then I finally got up and I was like, one of the women were asking me, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then that's when I realized, wow, I'm back to normal.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I don't want to be back to normal. I want to be in that state, and everything was just so. I felt so connected with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I shared my own experience.
That was like halfway of the integration. Like everyone was standing, going around, going to the bathroom by themselves, eating. I was eating, so the soup was so delicious. The food was so delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love how they have vegan food.
Yeah. And then everyone like starts sharing his experience.
How many people were there this time?
I think it was about 30 or 40.
Yeah, 40, around 40.
It's crazy because when I went, it was the biggest group ever. It was 156 people or something like that.
Yeah, it was like small, considered a small group.
Okay.
And it was amazing, like listening to others, like.
It's probably better that way, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, more intimate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we was listening. Like everyone had a chance to share his experience.
We shared it, but it took forever. Because I'm trying to be such a positive person and not let anything bad happen. And I love how you're like, yeah, whatever, we'll figure it out. That's a good thing. That's how I want a bliss seeker to be. Like mentally tough, emotionally stable. We don't panic. We pivot. We turn everything into a positive. Like it doesn't matter what happens. Like it's not what happens. It's like how you react to it. So I appreciate that.
The show must go on.
Exactly. Hey, the show must go on, right? We're gonna have so much merch, and it's gonna have all these like awesome quotes on it, and that's awesome. So one of them will be the show must go on, right? But anyways, you were saying, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So. Just listening to others like sharing their experience like was super powerful. Like that's happened to you. Yeah. Like it's like was like collective experience from everyone. Mainly like we have like people have really like childhood issues, or like they lost someone they really love and they couldn't let go. And they finally like with ayahuasca was able, they were able to let go of all that sadness, all that depression, and feeling love.
That's awesome.
They came back from the ceremony. Like during the ayahuasca, you look at them crying in the ground. Like you think like, oh, this is like so like sad.
Yeah.
But after the experience, you look at them. They are smiling, laughing, and you feel all the love, in their faces.
It's like a cleansing. That's what it is.
It's a cleansing. Yeah, like all this bad emotion just go out of you. And one person sharing his experience, he was Jewish, and so he was like religion, and he felt it in his heart so much. Like he was old guy, and he started like crying and like just say like I felt the love, and at the end he said like I felt like I touched the face of God.
Wow.
And so that was like I felt it when he said that. All the emotion. Entities, they were just feeding on them, and they just like get rid of it.
Yeah.
And so I mean like just I want to like say like don't look at the world as just like a solid. Like there is so much energy around us, so much entities, so much like we are not alone, here. Just don't think like we are just a spirit. We are energy, and there's like good energy, bad energy around us.
Yeah. Our job is to attract the good energy.
Yes, and like this is what they told us. What you focus on, you give energy to. Mm-hmm. So you focus on the good, you give it energy. Right. You focus on the bad, you give it energy. So like don't, even like there is so much negative stuff going on in the world or in your life, don't just keep talking about it. It's like the news.
Exactly.
They just saying about the negative, and nothing can change. If you keep talking about the negative, nothing gonna change. Mm-hmm. Even like in the world or in your personal life. don't keep talking about what happened to you yesterday, or like someone cheated on you, or like your parents didn't love you, or like you keep talking about it, you keep giving it energy, you keep attracting the same emotion. The way like to deal with it, just accept it. Like, okay, this has happened to me, I accept it, I love it, I feel the emotion. Also, don't try to compress your emotion. Let it go, like cry, like scream, do whatever, and just accept it. If you keep holding to it, it's gonna stay with you. Just let go. Doesn't matter what happened to you, and start think about something positive. Start thinking about your future, and start thinking about the light. Just think about like amori luz. That's it. Focus on the light.
I did that a lot because now that I started to see like all these people that I know start podcasts, and this one person I know, like they have almost 1,000 subscribers already, and they just started their channel a few days ago. And but this person knows a lot of people, like he's well known, you know. And then I started to be like, you know, like all the doubt and like negativity and like, you know. And then I was like, you know what? Whatever. Like I started to change my mindset. Like, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's abundant. There's plenty. Like it has nothing to do with me, you know, us and our podcast or me or anything. And it just, you know, just put me back on the right path as far as like.
Part of it also, like when you understand like there is like so many dimensions, not just this, and like if you think you're gonna live in here on earth like 67 years and you're gone, that's like totally wrong. Like when you know like you're gonna live forever, so you have plenty of time to relax. Like just relax, like whatever you want is gonna come to you. Just work for it.
This human experience has a time limit, but your soul is infinite and forever. Like it's never gonna go away. Like
I mean, like you never like say like, oh, like I'm already 50 and I didn't accomplish this, or I'm 60. Like you still have plenty of time. Even if you have one day like to feel release and you feel love and you feel you're doing something you love, that's enough.
Like my ultimate dream is to own an NFL franchise, and I know that could take a long time and all that, but I always think to myself, I go, even if I'm 65 or 70 when that happens, I'm fine. Like I could live the rest of my life running and most of the owners are old anyways, right? There's a few young ones, right? But I could be 70 years old and then the rest of my life will be good. Like I always had the vision, like there's the luxury box, it's me, it's my family, and we just won. Well, now we have to win 7 Super Bowls. Thanks, Tom Brady, who won 6, right? So we have to win 7 Super Bowls or however many. I want to have the most Super Bowls ever by a franchise in history. Like, I could literally pass away at that moment and my life would be complete. You know what I mean? I don't want to pass away in the luxury box for my family, but I'm just saying, like, but I don't have to be, like, 42 like I am now. I still have a good 25, 30 years to accomplish that goal. That's a long-term goal, right? But that's what I just wanted to say that because you talk about time and a lot of times we stress like, oh, we're this age and we haven't done this, and that's just worldly stuff, right? Like it's not about that. It's about your journey. Like I never understood that whole, you know, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Because you know, as a high achiever or a driven person, you're always about the destination, right? You're like, oh, as soon as I get this, as soon as I get that, then I'll be happy. No, it's not about that. Like. And I didn't understand this for a long, long time. But even the bad things that happen to me, I accept now. And I go, you know what? That's my journey. That's my book. So I'm like happy about it. Like, you know, it doesn't matter good, bad, what happens to you. That's my journey. You know, that's our journey. We're all creating our own unique journey, you know? And so then I'm more at peace with like where I'm at. Like, you know, where I'm going, like, you know, my age. And most people, if you look at all the billionaires, like most of them didn't even get successful until they were 40 and above. You know, so life is a journey. And we all have our own journey, good and bad, whatever happens to us, right? But as soon as you accept that, you're happy in every moment, even the bad times. Because you could look back at the bad times and go, wow, I wouldn't even be the person I am today if it weren't for that experience that happened to me. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be that strong. I'd probably be weaker if it weren't for all the things that had happened to me or whatever. I like what Ed Milet says. He says, life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Right? A lot of times we think, oh, why did that happen to me? But if you really look at it and you analyze it, it might have actually turned into something a lot better You know what I mean?
It's always an opportunity. Whatever happens, it's opportunity to learn.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't matter what situation, good or bad. It's an opportunity.
Yeah, I like the quote. I either win or I learn. Never lose.
Also they said like there's nothing good or bad, and like it's your perspective about it. Like
100%.
it makes it good or bad. Like how you think about the situation. And I like Bob Proctor. He was saying this. When something like really bad, it means like there is something really good in it.
Yeah.
Like the more bad it got, like the more good it's gonna get. So, and the thing is like also getting back to religion. This is what like we have a quote in religion like God make good and bad together. Like with the good come a bad. Like so. But like this is the thing like why we don't understand it like when they teach us and like we have to go through the journey and learn it from nature like. When they teach you from the book, from at school or whatever, like you don't get it until you go on your own journey.
There's very few people that can learn because they say wise people learn from other mistakes. Like they say smart people learn from their own mistakes, but wise people learn from the mistakes of others, right?
Yeah.
But there's very few people that can learn from the mistakes of others. But in the end, it is our journey, right? Like it's our life to live and. All the trauma, the negativity, all that is stuck in our earth suit.
Yes.
This body holds all that. When the spirit leaves, it stays with the body. Like, that's why I just don't understand the concept of hell. Because I think hell's on earth, to be honest, and heaven. That's my perspective. I'm not against anybody who believes in anything else, but I believe life is all about choices, right? Because we're the only living animal on earth that can make free will choices. My dog can't make choices on her own. A lizard can't make choices on their own. A cow can't make choices. They live on pure instinct, right? Some animals have like feelings like pigs and dogs and cows, right? But they still can't make choices. If a cow goes, I don't want to get slaughtered today, it has no choice because the human controls the choice, right? So life is about you making good choices so that the probability that good things will happen to you is higher. But if you make a bunch of bad choices in life, then your life's going to be like a living hell, like on earth, right? So for like example, I always used to use this analogy when I was a kid. It's not very probable that we get hit by a car in this room, but some freak accident can happen. A car could hit something, fly 30 feet in the air, crash into this house and kill us in this room, right? It's probably not going to happen. The chances are like 0.000, right? Well, let's say now we walk downstairs. We made the choice to walk downstairs into my living room. Well, now the probability is higher, but still the car would have to crash through and whatever. Now if we make the choice to walk outside into my driveway, it's a lot higher, but it's still not very possible because like we didn't make a dumb decision, right? But what if I start running around on the street? I made the choice to like just start dancing around on the street. Well, now my probability of getting hit by a car is a lot higher, but I can still maybe jump out of the way. But now if I go jump on the freeway, and cars are going 60, 70 miles an hour, now it's just a matter of time before I get hit by a car, right?
Yes.
But that was a choice.
Yeah.
Right? So life is about making good choices so the probability of good things that can happen to you is a lot higher. And then you feel like you're in heaven because your life is abundant, your life is love, your life is good. Well, now if I decide, I want to go start playing on the freeway, start doing drugs, start hanging out with the wrong people, like now my life's going to feel like hell. You know what I mean? Not work hard, not pursue my bliss, right? Yeah. Now life is hell, like on earth, like everything sucks, like, you know what I mean? So that's just my perspective.
Yeah, so Dr. Joe Dispenza says something like really interesting. He said like we will not punish for our sin, we get punished by our sin.
Yeah.
So when you start thinking negatively and do negative things, it's gonna come to you.
Right.
So like you get punished by all this bad stuff you're doing because you're attracting to it. And
exactly.
And when you do like good stuff and you get a good deed, you get rewarded by this, good choices. And the other thing, so we don't know, like no one can say like what's gonna happen after we die. Even like we try ayahuasca, we went to different dimension, but like our body's still alive,
Right.
My heart's still beating.
You're still connected to your body.
Still connected. When I like totally lose connection, nobody what's gonna happen. But I think like, did you guys watch the movie The Monsters?
Monsters
Like,
Inc. with Boo, little Boo.
The
Yeah.
cartoon
Little
one?
Boo.
Yes.
I watched
I
it.
don't
It
think
was
I
so
watched
cute.
it.
So
Yeah, what would Isaac watch it?
I'm gonna show you like this
Yeah.
movie.
Mainly
Like you
people
have.
have kids or young people in their family watch it. I think I watched it.
I watched it. I was like 25 or something.
But you know what?
Like, it's good.
Most of the cartoon movies now are better than actual
Yeah.
real movies. You know?
So in this movie, like there's like kind of a city of monsters,
Yeah.
and they came like to this human places. Like they came like to the kids' closet, and they scared like the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And when they scare the kids, they get an energy. When the kids start screaming and crying,
Uh-huh.
they get this energy and they go back like just to their planet.
Okay.
Planet.
So it helps their planet by gathering
Yes.
the energy. Okay.
Yeah, they just collecting energy from these kids and take it, there.
Poor
And
kids.
so, and at the end of the movie, like they find out, like if they make the kids laughing and happy, they collect more energy. Like it's 100 times more.
Yeah.
End of the movie, like all the monsters like dressing funny, and they came to the kids and play with the kids and stuff, and just collecting energy and go. And I feel like we are human is like we have same situation.
Yeah.
Like we came here like to collect like love and light, and then when we die, we're gonna live in love and light.
Mm-hmm.
You get the light with you, like the good stuff. You take it with you once you die, and that's gonna be your heaven. Like
Right.
you're gonna live in light. And if you came here and you do a bunch of stuff, killing a bunch of people, doing all the bad stuff, and you pass away, you're taking all this darkness with you, and you could living in this darkness forever, and that could be like hell.
Yeah.
So this is like just one thing I feel like true. Like whatever like you do here, all the light, all the good stuff, you're gonna take it with you. Like you take with you the light and the love.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everything, whatever a person's truth, there is a person's truth, and then there is a truth, and then none of us know what happens
Yes,
when we pass away.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like nobody knows, I mean, but there has been stories of people who passed away and then came back, and all they saw was light, like or whatever. You know what I mean? There's been many different experiences or whatever.
But yeah, but I mean, it's still like they still connected. They came back. They weren't gone, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so in the end, none of us really know what's going to happen, but everyone has their truth, and that's pretty much how it is. But there's natural laws to this world, like gravity is one of the natural laws.
Yes.
Like if I'm like, I don't believe in gravity, I'm gonna walk off the roof of this house. Well, I'm gonna kill myself basically because I'm gonna fall and either break some bones or die, right? So there's the truth, there's person's truth, and then there's natural law, right?
Yeah.
Like natural law says if you eat too much and you don't work out, or you're gonna gain weight. Like that's just it's just the law. Like if you eat a whole bunch, like if I stuff a bunch of fast food and all this crappy food in my face, I made the choice to do it. Nobody forced me to do that, right?
Yes.
I make the choice not to work out. I make the choice to watch negative stuff on TV. I make the choice to hang around with the wrong people. The law says I'm going to gain weight, I'm going to get sick, I'm going to be unhappy, I'm going to probably be negative, and I'm probably going to pass away very soon, right?
Yes.
Now the other law says if you eat healthy, you work out, you hang out with good people, you live a life of love and light, hey, you're going to be in good shape, you're going to feel healthy, you're probably going to be happy. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's the truth, there's personal truth, and then there's natural laws. So I think regardless of what your truth is, you just have to respect natural laws, and if you respect natural laws, then I think regardless of what your truth is, you should be okay.
And there is the law of attraction.
Yeah. 100%.
Whatever you're putting out there, whatever energy, it will return to you.
Like my ayahuasca experience was so crazy because it wasn't even on my, maybe it wasn't my subconscious, but it wasn't, I had no idea. Like it literally happened within 5 days. Like I'm talking to my friend, and she's like, hey, I'm going to, and her name is Luz, by the way, right? Luz brought me to Portal de Luz, which is the freaking craziest thing ever, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm talking to my friend, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? How's everything? She goes, oh, I'm going on this this retreat this weekend. And I'm like, what kind of retreat? She didn't want to tell me, right? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, it's like a healing thing. I'm like, oh, what do you mean? Like, I kept prying, right? And she's like, well, she's like, have you heard of ayahuasca? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, there's some around here? Like, I thought I had to go to like Peru or Costa Rica, right? She's like, yeah. And so anyways, long story short, she's like, I'm like, can I go? And then she's like, well, let me find out, right? And so she called, make some phone calls. I'm like, can I bring somebody with me? 5 days later, I'm in that place, and I'm doing ayahuasca. Like, that's how crazy it is. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even have the 5 days to not do all the stuff, but luckily I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I don't, you know, I'm already vegan, so I was already pretty much like ready to go. And it just happened like that. You know what I mean? Because like, we are all energy, we're all connected, we attract like-minded people, you know, and then here we are.
And you know what? You were ready for it.
Yeah,
you were ready for it.
I was ready for it.
Yeah, because I remember you asked me. I was like, well, let me look at my schedule. I knew I wasn't ready, but I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Right. So you went on what month?
June.
June. So July happened, and I was gonna go in August, and then it didn't plan out, and then September happened. I'm like, I'm ready to go. It just it's been calling me for a while. So for everyone out there, like, you don't have to force yourself. If it's calling you, you'll know when you're ready.
Yeah, you must
Simple
be ready.
as that.
Do not do this if you're not ready.
Yeah,
because either
for sure.
you're not going to get the experience, or you might have a bad experience, right? But and then the crazy part is I talked to Hatem and like. I started talking about ayahuasca, and he's like, "Oh, I just did it too." I'm like, "What? Like, what the heck? Like, this is just crazy. Like, what are the chances, you know?" But hey, I guess Mother Nature, Mother Ayahuasca, you know, that's what it's about, right? So let's just talk about a few more things, and then we could wrap it up. But is there anything that you guys saw, like any experience that you really want to share that you haven't talked about, or like for me, when I would get closest to releasing and purging and finally killing my ego, I would go up to the peace, and then I ended up inside of a womb. I was like a baby inside of a mother's womb, and it was a bright light, and it was so calm, like all the noise just stopped, and then I could just hear the singing, and then it was like connected to me, and she's like, "Sí, mijo. Ven aquí." Like she was saying, like, "Yes, son, like you're in the right place now. Like, come closer, right?" And then my ego came in with the right hook, like Mike Tyson in the 12th round. It was like, no, boom, and then whatever. Anyways.
If you took 2 shots, I think your ego would be gone. You would be gone.
I took the rookie shot,
Yeah.
right? Good. Next time I think I'll take a stronger dose. But
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm taking 2 shots next time in the beginning.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't want to go too hardcore the first time. Like I literally was able to control it after a while. Like I was playing a video game. I felt like I was in Fortnite. Like that's how it was.
Yeah.
You know how Fortnite's like all these crazy like weird things and shapes, and that's how I was. Like I was just jumping from playing. Like I told you guys, I went to when I finally got over the fear of people's pain, and I realized it was just there for me to help them, then I said, all right, well, let's see what I could do with this. Like I almost like got into the driver's seat, and I was like, okay, well, now let's see what I can do with this thing, right? Like, let's see where this can take me. And I said, I want to know where I come from. I want to go all the way back to my ancestry, like straight up ancestry.com, like in real life, right, with pictures. And I went from the U.S. to Europe to the Middle East to Africa, and then I went all the way back to the caveman days, and I literally could hear like monkeys, like, and then I could hear like elephants, like, and then I heard like, and then I heard like caveman, like, like just caveman screaming, and I was like, what the? And then I could feel water, like I was like by a stream, and then all of a sudden I jumped to like something else, and then I went to like little apartments in like the Middle East, and it was weird. It was like apartment and like a little window, and I could see the sun, and I could hear like 6 different languages. Some of them I understood. I heard like Spanish, Then I heard another language. I didn't even know what the heck it was. Then I heard another language, and it was always like families and kids inside this apartment. And then finally, it was like I was in East Africa, and there was like an apartment. It was like desert, and then the sun, and it was like, this is where you're from, or something like that. And it was pretty crazy.
So you mentioned ancestors, right?
Yeah.
We have like one lady. She has like this experience. So she felt like so sad, and she felt like unwanted. And during the ayahuasca, she said like, I felt the pain of like 500 years ago. All her like grandfather and grandmother, all her ancestors, like
Wow.
for 500 years. And she said like it felt like I have all this sadness in my DNA, and because like her race was like, like not treated well, and many of them were killed and stuff.
Yeah.
And she said like, I just, after the ceremony, like she felt like I just healed like everything like from 500 years ago until now.
Wow.
She felt that she just saw it,
That's awesome.
and she healed it. So we have a lot of things in our DNA too, like all this vibration, it's in our DNA.
And our brain's like millions of years old too.
Yeah.
Yes. So all of that is just in our DNA and in our vibration, and like it need to be healed. Like even if your life normal, like you didn't have something bad, you could get something from your ancestors.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. I just looked at ancestry.com. I have an account, and then there was an update, and it says that 1% Northern Africa. And I'm like, what is this about? And I guess it's gonna keep adding more new updates as time goes by. And I remember she's a friend of mine now. I met her during the weekend. I'm not gonna say her name, but she's from LA, and she was telling me when I was dancing around the fire, it like reminded her like it looks like I was dancing with my ancestors.
Yeah, that's
She
awesome.
pulled me to the side like, you look like you're dancing with your ancestors. I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah.
Like I didn't never thought of it that way, because I've been wanting to connect with my ancestors and my culture in the Philippines. Like that part of me, like as an adult now, I want to go back there and get to know, my culture and history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all supposedly originated from Africa at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at your ancestry DNA, that's where that 1%.
No, but like,
Yeah.
where in Northern Africa? Where?
Yeah.
Morocco?
So supposedly I'm 5% African and 1% Nigerian. But Africa has Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
Africa has like Middle Eastern countries in it. Africa's a continent. It's not like a country, right?
Yeah.
There's different countries in Africa, but Africa's a continent. So you have African, you have Egyptian, you have Moroccan, you have all these different races basically. So I believe, well, it says my ancestry is 1% Nigerian and 3% North Africa.
Mm.
And all the Middle Eastern countries are from North Africa. So, or the ones that
The majority.
the ones that are
yeah.
influenced by the Middle East are North. The one that's, so it goes from North Africa that connects to Spain.
Yeah.
Morocco and Spain are right there, right next to each other.
Yeah.
And then it goes to Ireland and all that, and then it comes to 48% Native American, which comes from my father, because my father's from this part of the world, right? So yeah, I guess we all kind of, but that's what ayahuasca showed me. It went all the way back. Like, it was pretty cool and pretty crazy, actually.
I want to add something.
Go ahead, and I know you have something to show us
So
too.
we finally met Moroni. It's Moroni, actually.
Oh, it's Moroni?
Yeah, Moroni Silva.
Sorry,
his
Moroni.
band is called A Dead Desire. The song mantra that you guys hear in the beginning of each of the podcasts, YouTube podcasts, is his song.
Right.
And he was there, and he performed that song in the fire pit.
Yeah.
I think it was Friday night.
Seeing that live.
It was Friday
Yes.
night, right? And I manifested it because I was like telling myself, I'm like, I'm gonna hear this guy perform mantra live, and
Right.
it finally happened.
Yeah.
I had my eyes closed. We're like in front of the fire pit. He was watching him the whole time, but I was just like, yes. I was
Yeah.
receiving everything. It was so beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you seem like you're a lot more connected, a lot more ready to receive, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to show you guys one thing.
Yeah, I know you have something to show us, right?
All right, guys. So when we do the ayahuasca ceremony, they suggest to wear all white, right? It's like a purification kind of thing. So I bought this dress, and this is it's supposed. It used to look like this, all white, and now it looks like this after the ceremony.
That color is called Mother Nature.
Yeah. So I was rolling around the dirt and being one with the planet Earth. That's basically what happened, and I did not care whatsoever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's true freedom. True freedom is not giving a crap about what anybody thinks.
I didn't care about how I look. I didn't even look at we had no mirror.
Yeah.
I didn't see myself until Saturday, like when I went to the bathroom and looked at myself. I kind of laughed because I looked like I had black charcoal mask on. I didn't realize my face was that dark. No one told me anything.
The whole night and everything.
Like no one said anything. My face was so black, like my hair.
Oh wow.
I just laughed, and then one of the girls was like, "Hey, you want to exfoliate?" And I was like, at first I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I looked at myself like, you know what? I'll just keep this on for a while.
Yeah.
I was like really comfortable looking the way I did. Yeah.
Well, the medicine gave you exactly what you asked for.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's what it does, right? So, I mean, yeah, it seems like it was an amazing experience. And anything else you guys want to share about it? How was it meeting Moroni?
It was cool. He was really happy and, hugging, and he was really chill. He's a nice guy.
Did he call you Brother Bear?
He did say Brother Bear to him, I think, or someone.
So.
Yeah.
I think that's what he calls all the dudes because he's like
Brother Bear.
Brother Bear. Yeah. That's his thing, right?
Yeah, I bonded with I think it was his girl, more Hope. She was really sweet. She was adorable. She gave me water.
One thing I did want to ask you guys: did you guys meet any friends there? Any new connections? Because I met tons of people.
Absolutely. I told them about the podcast too.
Yeah.
We met a lot of friends. Yeah. We met a lot of connections.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like
on social media.
Yeah.
So
well, I haven't been in social media since Friday, I think.
Yeah, you guys were kind of quiet. I was like, wow, it must have been a good experience because you guys were just quiet.
Yeah.
Zero dark 30 for a while.
Yeah. We really enjoy just being there without the phones and just disconnect with everything, just being in nature and so relaxing. And
isn't it crazy how you don't even miss your phone after a while?
Yeah. Remember on Sunday when everyone else is grabbing their phones, I was like, all right.
We was literally saying we don't want to take it. We just want to throw it away. We want to keep it.
I don't want to throw it away, but I just didn't.
I was
I need more time away from my phone.
I know. I was seriously, I just want to keep it here.
Yeah.
And she agreed, let's bury it.
Yeah, it was
but we needed to go back home. We need the bus.
I know, you need the waves, right?
We didn't want to leave. We wanted to stay longer.
Yeah.
And one of the helpers, she said something really important. When we had a circle thing on Sunday before we all part ways.
Yeah.
She was saying, this ayahuasca, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Take your time. You don't have to rush. And it resonated with me because I know for a fact this is just the beginning for me with my journey.
Yeah, I remember when I was coming off of it, because I think I really did just completely come off a little early. I didn't want to really talk to anybody. I just wanted to lay on my mat and stare at the trees.
Yeah.
And I just remember I was sitting there and I was so happy and at peace, and I could just see the trees kind of, I don't know if they're waving or what, they were just
hi Isaac.
Hey, And then I had a really good conversation with the person that I was with, and probably the best conversation we'd ever had. And then I just keep meeting people, and I just was clicking and just hearing their story, and it was pretty awesome. I actually met this lady who I want to have on the podcast in the future. But yeah, it was an amazing experience. Just like you guys said, I just wanted to sit there, and I didn't want to eat. I just wanted, I was already almost 2 days.
I wanted to eat.
Oh yeah.
I was so hungry.
Yeah.
I was thirsty.
The food there tastes different.
Oh yeah. It's very pure.
It's
very
made
clean.
with love.
Yeah,
it's
very
made
clean.
with love. Seriously.
Yeah.
Delicious. You can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I think Abuela Luna owns that big piece of land right there too.
Yeah, she does.
There's a house on there too. I don't know. Did you guys hear that dog barking all night?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Bentley? The big white bear looking dog?
No, I didn't see the dog. Okay. I just heard
There is a small dog.
No,
someone brought his dog too there.
There's a black dog?
No, I didn't see the black
dog. Last time a couple people brought dogs, but no, I didn't see this dog, but the whole night it was barking.
I remember I think it was Bentley barking during nighttime. It was him.
And normally I wouldn't mind, but like every time I was trying to go to sleep,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god. And then that tells you something is around, you know what I mean? Because the dogs are there to kind of spook things. And like, oh, and then we heard like wolves. I literally heard wolves howling like at the top of their lungs the whole like I'm like finally go to sleep, then I was like, I was like, what the hell is that? That sounds too close, right? Anyways, I didn't sleep much the first night. The second night, I literally passed out and didn't wake up till the next day. I don't know if you guys were, but I think I slept like at 7 p.m. and didn't wake up till like 5 a.m. the next day. Yeah. What about you guys on Saturday after the ceremony?
Oh, after the ceremony? You know, the only reason why I keep waking up because it got colder.
Okay.
We even have like an extra blanket on top of us. We had our own sleeping bags, right?
Yeah.
And I had like 4 layers, 2 jackets.
Yeah.
And I had a blanket on top of us, and for some reason it just got even colder. That would wake me up.
Yeah, it was probably really cold this time. For me, it was freaking hot because it was summertime. And like a couple people got baked in the sun because like that was not a time you wanted to be in the sun. Maybe this time you want to be in the sun, but that time it was not a time to be in the sun. But well,
the nighttime was so beautiful. Like you can see all the stars.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
Milky Way.
The Milky Way, like you see the Milky Way as like kind of like line or this line of stars.
It almost looked fake. Like those pictures are so good that you guys took. Like, and you could see all the stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that. Those are really nice pictures.
It was surreal, and we had this. We were talking. We're on top of the rock, right?
Yeah.
And we were just like, oh my gosh, like we don't see this often at all. Not even in San Francisco, we don't see this in the Bay Area. But being there, it was just so surreal. Like this is beautiful. And I haven't seen anything like that for a very long time.
There's a place called Burning Falls. It's about 30 minutes from there. And the last time I went, the big group, all the friends that we all know that own like the vegan places, they all go to the falls after and they spend like the day there. And hang out at the falls and go swimming and all that kind of stuff. So next time, if we all do go, I want to stop at the Burning Falls. It's like a beautiful waterfalls and all that. Because like you're literally like almost to Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But did you want to say something?
No, just like in general, like the experience was so amazing. Like everything was just perfect.
Yeah.
And like for sure we wanna go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be ready in October, but I will be ready sometime in the near future for sure. But I'm glad you guys were able to do it, especially you, Joe. 'Cause it seems like you had an amazing experience.
He's been calling me. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, anything else you guys want to add before we wrap it up?
I think for me, it's like one of the biggest lessons. What the medicine taught me was like the answers that I was seeking was already inside of me, and taking that medicine helped me like tap into that.
Amoriluz, right?
Amoriluz.
Yeah, she's an amazing person.
Yeah.
She kept an eye on me because I told everyone about like my experience.
Yeah,
back
they did what?
In Florida.
Florida. And she said like we do it at the daytime because we work with the light.
Right.
Yeah.
And even like when I was in my experience, I remember her came to me and she asked me, "Are you working with the light?" I was
she
yes.
Keep you right there.
I'm Mariluz,
Yeah.
And then like every like 10-15 minutes, I can't tell time, and everyone will just like all the helpers says like Amoriluz.
Yeah.
It's just like if you are shifted somewhere, just remind you like
it kind
love and light,
get you back on track.
Give you back on track.
Yeah, I remember when I hit the highest plane, she was there, and so was everybody. It was like, it was almost like I'm down in the pain and the suffering, then I'm on my little weird journey, and then boom. It's like you said, like I'm not above the clouds, but it's like I hit this different place where it's just quiet. Not quiet because I can hear the singing, but it's just like this calm. And it was just peaceful. Yeah. And I felt safe and warm, and then I could just hear the singing, and it got louder and louder and louder. And it was kind of like in synchronicity, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an amazing group of people, And I think you guys had a great experience with less people, because like with 156 people, like imagine
it's hard on
they really can't
everyone,
put attention
yeah.
on people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know they have a lot of helpers, but with that many people, like some people just were left on their own. If you really needed help, then they were with you. But in the smaller group setting, like they can pretty much put attention to everybody and keep an eye on everybody.
Yeah, I remember they kept coming to me.
Yeah.
Checking on me.
And by the way, we don't want to scare anybody out there. Like, it's not a bad thing. Like, you might see some things that you might not be too happy about, but it's for a purpose. It ends up being a good thing. You know what I mean? It ends up releasing it and helping you understand it. And you know, what are some final thoughts you guys want to leave everybody with out there in the world?
For me, it's like one of my biggest intentions was basically discovering and getting back to the real me, the most authentic me, which is love and light.
Right.
And I'm on that journey, and it's just the beginning for me, and we're just light and love. You know what I'm saying? And you know, being on this journey, it's a lot of my friends have been asking me, how is it, this and that, this and that. I can only share you my experience,
right,
but your experience is going to be different.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone's experience will be different.
Journey,
yeah,
for sure.
What about you, Hatem?
So one thing like I learned from ayahuasca, because this is my second journey, like it's been like 6 months between the two times I did ayahuasca. Even after the trip, like it keep teaching you.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna be having like downloads, like you like getting upgrade while you're asleep, like you get moment, like your conscious like expand, like, and you're gonna keep, and like you're gonna see stuff on the trip you will not understand it, like 2-3 weeks later, 1 month later, you're gonna say, oh, that's what I saw. And like everything start like making sense. Because like right now it's just like so much information.
Right.
Later on you're gonna like understand the lesson. And the other thing, the last thing I want to say, I learned like there is like dark and there is light, and I want to be like the light. I want to fight for the light, and I want to I want to take action. Like this is what, like at the end, like I was like so motivated after I'm done. Like I wasn't exhausted or like after the trip. I was like, I have energy. Like I need to do something. Like I need to help, and I need to spread peace and love.
Wow.
Be a warrior of light.
Be a warrior of light. Yeah, a Moriluz.
A Moriluz, right? Well, that's awesome. So it looks like you guys had an awesome experience, and it's probably just the beginning of everybody's journey, you know, especially I think yours, Joe.
Yeah.
And you know, I just think it, you know, I appreciate you guys sharing your experience, because you know, sometimes people are a little like, oh, I'm not sure, right? But we're here to share experiences and stories of people that are following their bliss and trying to seek their purpose, and you know, just be ready to experience it. You know, for me, I didn't get the full breakthrough because my ego kind of won out in the end. But like you said, Hatem, it's downloaded inside of me, and slowly but surely, I find myself kind of shedding my old habits, shedding my old identity that was holding me back, and it's easier to kind of be good than before. So even if you don't get the full experience, you're gonna improve every single time. Like every single time you're gonna get better. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. But it was a great show. Thank you guys for being on the podcast and sharing your experience.
And thanks to you for recommending that place that we went to. I was very avid, you know. I was so sad on doing my first ayahuasca in Peru or Mexico, but you know, you're attracted in your life, and we're friends. We're the bliss seekers.
Yeah.
And you did it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah.
So, and Hatem did it. So, Des, is your turn, Des.
There you go.
Right there.
And if anybody wants to know about it, just message us or something.
Yeah.
We'll share it with you guys. And yeah, I was the same way. I thought I was gonna have to spend thousands of dollars and travel outside the country, which I had no problem with, right? I still want to do some of those, right?
Yeah.
But I love that it was, you know, not too far away, and you know, it was affordable, and it was good people who know what they're doing, and you know, people that want to use it for good. So, well, yeah. Again, thank you guys for being on here. I think this was an awesome podcast, and you know, hopefully somebody can take your guys' experiences and stories, and maybe they're on the fence and they're ready to go, or you know, just kind of learn about it, and maybe it's not for you, but just know that life is all about getting better and improving yourself. So once again, we're on all major platforms. Everything is in the description, so go down in the description, make sure you like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff, and you know, we're on every major platform. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoy the show, and as always, follow your bliss.
Amorilus.
And Amorilus. Follow your bliss and Amorilus. Alright guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.